Hi, my name is Bryson Blair. I'm a sophomore. I live right here in Ani, where my two parents raised me and my two siblings. I would have to say my life has been pretty easy compared to others. I'm lucky enough to have two loving parents and let alone a house above my head. I was raised to be Christian, but it's not like I went to church every Sunday. By 5th grade, my friend introduced me to youth group. Only a few people went at the time, but I liked it and I wanted to learn more. I was an average middle schooler. We all had our problems, but I think because Younglife helped me make a foundation with God, I was able to get all I could out of it. When I look back at my life and all the decisions I had to make, I wonder how much different it would be if I wasn't introduced to God. I probably wouldn't be the same person without the structure I was given. I have to say, I think having a relationship with God has made decision making easier and even made me a better person. Being in my shoes for the majority of the time isn't that difficult, but knowing that when times get tough, you always have something or someone to turn to really makes life that much more worthwhile.
My name is Emily Simons, and I'm a senior this year. I won't lie, my life has not been that hard. There's things I go through in life that really suck, but everybody goes through them. And my family has raised me to be Christian, so they're always there to back me up when I ever had some sort of problem. I would say, growing up earlier, I was kind of like went to church every Sunday. Then during the week, that was just kind of it. I'd go the whole week without praying or reading the Bible or anything, and then go to church again on Sunday. And then I started getting involved with Younglife more, and they kind of showed me what it meant to have a relationship with God, which is really cool for me. I started getting more interested in God and reading my Bible and stuff and praying. And it also opened up a new world to me. I saw other people's lives and how much it sucked for them. Because I had been ignorant before that. I thought everybody's life was like mine, where they had a family and stuff. But I kind of realized they're all literally drowning in depression and loneliness and hate. But then Younglife comes in, and they're like the life jacket, and they help them get through the tough times. But that's not the only thing they do. It's really cool because they introduce them to Jesus, and he's the only one who can actually take them out of the water. So even if they don't accept his help, I think it's really worth the effort. So, thanks.
My name's Ryan Zandecki, and I'm a sophomore. I've been raised as a Christian for as long as I can remember, but we didn't go to church every Sunday, and we didn't talk about God very much. I've always believed in God, but sometimes I question that belief. When I moved to Alaska, I became friends with people that made me feel insecure and worthless. They always judged me because I made good decisions and respected myself and others. I was sick of the goody two-shoes label and started making bad decisions that I wouldn't have made without their pressure. God became an afterthought of all my decisions, all the decisions I made. I hated myself for what I had done, but I was stuck with regrets, or so I thought. Last summer, I started going to youth group. I learned that God will forgive you for your mistakes if you ask him. I no longer had to live with my regrets. I started a new lifestyle with new friends and a new outlook on life. My family now goes to church every Sunday, and we talk about God on a regular basis. I have become closer to God than I ever imagined possible. Younglife has made such a great impact on my life. I couldn't imagine living any other way.
Hi, I'm Coleman. Roger, sophomore. When I was little, everything was perfect. I lived with my parents and 4 sisters. Everything was great. Then my parents got a divorce. I lived with my father because my mom had chosen drugs over my family. God has been in my life, but not in and out. When I thought about going to Younglife, I was hesitant because what people would say. I decided to go. My friends ended up being there too, so it was easier to get along. I started getting close to God. I read the Bible a lot more outside of school. Outside Younglife, I pray a lot more and not be afraid of what people would say. I had gotten closer to Him on a personal level. God works wonders. He helped me stay on track and not do bad things. He has made a huge impact on me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Fritsch. I'm a sophomore. Yeah, I got us being stuck in here, but it's not saying too much. Anyways, I'm just going to share tonight with you guys my testimony. Basically, when I was born, well, let's go back a little further. Before I was born, doctors told my mom I was dead, had no chance, but finally she got one doctor who told her, okay, your son's not dead, but he's got probably about 1% chance of living, so it's a miracle I'm here. Anyways, a lot of events took place in my life that were just hard for me. One was my brother dying before I ever met him, so that was hard. Another one was the fact that I met my Uncle Jeff twice. First time I met him, he was in a hospital bed. He had gangrene, one leg, and he just looked miserable. Came back, I seen him again. Same thing, just looked like it was getting worse. I remember sitting in the car with my dad and just getting a call. I answered and said, hello. They said, this is so-and-so from the hospital. I don't call the name. And they said, can we speak to Victor? I was like, yes, hold on one moment, please. They talked to my dad, and I overheard them saying, we're sorry, Victor, your brother Jeff had just passed away. And I remember looking at my dad's eyes and just seeing how he felt. I never felt this way because this was still a young age for me. My life started turning in about 4th grade. I met my friend Corey, and things got a little better. Hung out with him all the time. Towards 5th grade, we kind of got a bad reputation as the bad kids. And basically, I did some things I'm not proud of, and I'll admit that, but I was always the first one questioned, no matter what the case, no matter who it was, I was always questioned first. My friends would get pulled into the office after me and told, oh, you shouldn't be Brandon Fritch's friend. He's a bad kid. My friends were always there for me, it didn't matter what. And anyways, that was about 5th grade. I had to get taken out of school in 5th grade for about half the year because my teachers thought I was such a bad kid that they threatened if I were their kid that they'd beat me. And so that made life hard, but still, I hung in there. And in 6th grade, life started to get a little better, but this is where I made my worst mistake. I was in Mammoth with my friend Corey, and we decided to make the mistake of drinking. Thank God we got caught, because if not, I don't know where I would have been. I made this mistake, got punished for it bad, and kind of opened me up to realize that was just a bad path to go down. 8th grade was probably the hardest and worst year for me. This was in between my mom telling me for the past year that we were moving, and finally we did, but the whole time I doubted it. And when we did move from all my friends is the hardest part. But the thing that I remember most, the worst memory I have, is the fact that my dad passed away on July 1st when I was 13. This was also hard. It was the hardest thing I faced because obviously not knowing my dad, my mom and dad got divorced when I was young. I didn't know him well enough. I seen him every first and third weekend of the month, and sometimes I took that even for granted, like playing, just going to my friend's house that weekend. The part that was worse was the fact that 2 months before he died, we got in a fight. I don't remember the last words I said to him, but I do remember the last time I saw him. He was coming up to the skate park, and I was with my friends, and I ran away into the woods. That's the last time I ever saw him. Now, once I moved out here, I was a lone kid, new kid, never had the experience before. Didn't like it. I met this kid, Nathan. He introduced me to Younglife. I started coming when I first came to Younglife. It was just a matter of hanging out. I didn't take anything serious that they said. But as I listened to the preacher then, who was Levi, I started realizing a lot of these things made sense in my life. Although I'm not the Christian I should be now, I know I'm getting closer to God. I'm going to continue my quest. And I hope things get better from here on out. Thank you.